we've seen Democrats try and set up government-run broadbands in cities. Each one has ended up costing more, performing less well. Many of them had to be sold off at the loss of millions of dollars to taxpayers. This is a national version of what they tried to do in some Democrat cities, basically try to do make-work projects for favorite contractors or something. We have a number of companies that do broadband that can do 5G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and to come up with a government centralized version of that. One, what does that do for privacy? We worry about the Chinese. Two, why would you have the government get into a business it knows nothing about when there are many American companies that have already built out? And because of the undoing the damage of Obama and Biden's regulatory regime, where they wanted to treat all of cable and all of telecommunications like a great big utility that you have, in your town, that moves slowly and doesn't make changes and just sort of sits there and works on yesterday's technology. We backed away from that and said, no, invest more in the many companies that do this. And we saw hundreds of millions of dollars of new innovation going into improving broadband for all Americans, rural, suburban, cities. To go back to a one-size-fits-all government approach nationally, when we're trying to compete with the Chinese, where their big problem is that they've got one way to do it. Why would we want to take their Soviet approach? It's never worked before, and the Pentagon's thinking about it, but if my neighbor told me he was thinking about eating my cat, I'd leave the cat inside. Thinking about it does not make me feel good.
Amen to that. Private sector always gets it done better. Grover, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good to be with you.
All right, Lindsay and I will be back in a moment to discuss the president's plans for the night and how you can get a front row seat. Coming up next.